All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So we've talked about prospects that the Jets can target in rounds 1 and 2. Now it's time for round 3. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in. So the Jets have 2 picks in the 3rd round this season. That is insane. That's crazy. So hopefully it'll pay off in the long run. But some of these prospects are more tailored towards the front end of the 3rd round, right? With that 2nd pick in the 3rd round. And then some guys are more tailored towards the back end of the 3rd round, which is originally owned by the Seattle Seahawks. So with the first player on this list, it's running back from North Carolina, Michael Carter. 5'7", 200 pounds. Michael Carter's acceleration is top notch. That's the reason why everybody gets excited about Michael Carter, especially talking about him transitioning to the next level. Just the ability to recognize running lanes and then hit those running lanes with insane burst. He's agile, he's athletic, he's great in open field. He actually reminds me a lot of Tariq Cohen, a shorter, shiftier running back that does a good job with the football in his hands. There are some question marks about yards after contact, and of course, Carter's not some, bowling ball of a running back where he's constantly mowing down defenders. But at the end of the day, I do think Carter's a good system fit because of the zone blocking system. If he could just recognize where he needs to go and then to hit these running lanes with that acceleration, I definitely could see this guy being a day 1 impact guy for the New York Jets. Next up, corner from Syracuse, Ifeatu Melifonwu, 6'2", 210 pounds, an absolute playmaker. I mean, on a consistent week-to-week basis, Melifonwu showed up and made plays. Extremely reliable on the outside for the Orange defense. He has great size, great speed, great length, great upside, huge catch radius, dominated in man coverage, and of course you could say, hey man, Robert Saleh plays more of a zone coverage style of defense, and that's true. But when you look at Melifonwu's physical traits, when you look at his upside, and when you look at his not only just agility in open field, but his anticipation skills, I think he can transition to a starting outside corner for the New York Jets. So I would definitely keep your eyes on Melifonwu. Next up, one of my favorite players in the entire draft, guard/center from Ohio State, Josh Meyers, 6'5", 310 pounds. A guy that, quite honestly, to me, doesn't get enough credit. I think Josh Meyers is going to be a reliable starting guard or center at the next level. He's versatile. He has great size. He's an absolute monster in the running game. And then, of course, going back to, Mike LaFleur's scheme here, everything is going to be based around the running game. The interior of the offensive line for the Jets is probably the weakest link, the weakest part of the entire team. We need to add bodies. We need to add talent. So if Meyers is there in the 3rd round, again, a round that we own 2 picks in, I would definitely look into drafting Meyers. He's also done pretty good in zone blocking situations before. I think he does fit the system. He gives you that versatility at center or guard. I know everybody's hoping that Connor McGovern steps up and gets back to his normal form because of, he's done pretty good in zone blocking schemes before under Scangarello back in Denver. But we can't count on that 1,000%. Like, based off of what he did last season, I don't feel comfortable with that. So we at least need to add some competition to the room. If he doesn't win the job at center, we can maybe kick him at guard and get an upgrade there. Next up, back to the cornerback position here, Kelvin Joseph from Kentucky, 5'11", 200 pounds. This is a player right now that plays with extreme confidence on the outside. Just the aggressive nature is so much fun to watch. He's not afraid. He will never back down. He'll come up and make that hit. He's not afraid of contact. He will challenge wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. He will challenge in 50-50 balls, and half the time he wins those 50-50 balls. He has great athletic ability. I think he ran a 4.34 in the 40, so he has the speed. He has solid size for the outside. I mean, when you're looking at a cornerback prospect from Robert Saleh's point of view, he has a lot of traits, a lot of tools that you can work with. Now it's just a matter of getting him in the system and coaching him up. Robert Saleh has that reputation of making his defensive players better, maximizing talents on that side of the football. So Kelvin Joseph, I mean, tons of production in the SEC, did a really good job against Devontae Smith from Alabama. He has great size, speed, everything is there. It's just a matter of getting him with the right coach, getting him in the right scheme. I think we could see a fit here. Next up, running back from Memphis, Kenneth Gainwell, 5'11", 195 pounds. Definitely one of the more popular running back prospects in this class because of the speed, because of the versatility, because he can stay on the field for all 3 downs, and he could do damage in the pass game as well. Much like Michael Carter, he has great acceleration and burst. Overall, just an explosive player. Funny enough, he actually reminds me and I don't want this pro comparison to like be misinterpreted like, okay, this player didn't work out, because he did have moments where he shined. Kenneth Gainwell actually reminds me a lot of Tree Archer. He was a kind of like a third down slot wide, like a third down running back slot wide. He was just like an offensive chess piece for the Steelers a couple years ago, and just a player with extreme speed. Get the football to him and let him work. I think Gainwell possesses a similar skill set. I don't think he's as fast as Tree Archer, but at the end of the day, he's versatile. Again, he can stay on the field for all 3 downs. When you're looking at this style of system, we need shorter, shiftier players that we can run end arounds with, run reverses with, put guys in motion. Gainwell can hurt you in the slot. You can literally line this guy up in the slot and do damage in the short passing game. So I think if the Jets maybe want to pass on a Najee Harris in round 2, a Travis Etienne, and maybe want to attack the running back position in round 3, and Michael Carter's off the board, I could very well see Gainwell being an option here for the Jets. Next up, another one of my favorite players in this draft, cornerback from Washington, Keith Taylor. Great size at 6'2", 195 pounds. Taylor, to me, has all of the physical tools to be successful at the next level, but the size alone, the 6'2", long-rangey cornerbacks, I just feel like that's key for the Robert Saleh system. I mean, you go back and you watch Taylor at Washington, what he did with the Huskies. He was a complete blanket, no matter if it was man coverage, zone coverage, inside, outside. Taylor did it all, and he excelled at it. A Senior Bowl riser. He actually, got invited to the Senior Bowl, went and did really well. So I'm actually surprised he's still being talked about going in round 3. I think he's a bottom round 2 guy. I really do feel like this guy has starting outside potential day one. Like as a rookie, I think he can do it, especially when you're looking at this Jets cornerback room. A lot of unproven guys, Bryce Hall, Blession Austin. We still haven't really addressed the position in free agency, so I'm assuming here that we're going to be pretty aggressive with the draft. So I think Keith Taylor fits the system. Also, you look at his anticipation skills, being able to come out of back pedals, not afraid to come up and make hits in open field, a really solid, really polished tackler as well. I think Keith Taylor makes so much sense for the New York Jets. Next up, guard/center from Wisconsin Whitewater, Quinn Miner, 6'3", 320, first team All-American. Miners is an absolute Mack truck on the interior of the offensive line. He's a mauler. It's going to sound funny, but I feel like Miners plays football just so he has an excuse to attack defenders, right? Just to humiliate them. Defensive tackles, nose tackles. He's fantastic in the running game. He's met with the Jets. He has great strength, good size, tons of production, went to the Senior Bowl and lit it up. That's where people really started to take notice. He would be coming in at a huge position of need. He plays just like Mekhi Becton, just with that aggressive nature. Finishing the play, really wanting to do damage. Again, really good in the run game. I think this could be a perfect fit, especially because the Jets have already met with him. I feel like if he's there in round 3, there's a really high chance he could be the pick here. I haven't heard one rumor, seen one mock draft where he goes beyond round 3. I think if anything, he goes round 2. If it's not round 3, it's round 2. So I think Miners makes a lot of sense for the New York Jets. Next up, tight end from Notre Dame, Tommy Tremble, 6'4", 250. Tremble's a do-it-all style of tight end. He's an effective pass catcher, really athletic. He's really good in pass protection and dominant in run protection. I feel like he is kind of that versatile tight end piece. And for this position being pretty weak right now for the New York Jets, I do think that we will target the tight end position at some point. I don't feel amazing about Tyler Kroft, Chris Herndon, and Ryan Griffin. I'm not fully sold, and especially with this offense coming over from San Francisco, an offense that really utilizes receiving tight ends. Think George Kittle and even Jordan Reed at his age, he's still putting in work. I think we need to get better at this position. You can argue he's more of a round 4 guy, but again, because this position is so weak, I could see Joe Douglas maybe using that second, third round pick on Tremble here. Really athletic. He's kind of like the perfect Patriot just because he's good at so many things. He's not really amazing at one quality, but he's just like solid there on just numerous offensive categories. So I think Tommy Tremble is a guy to look at. Upside is there, really good size, 6'4", 250. I like him a lot. I'm not 1,000% like bought in with him. Like, oh, like I would feel incredible, like A+ pick here. But I think because of the position that he plays, I think he could be in play. Next up, guard slash center from Illinois, another versatile player here, Kendrick Green, 6'4", 315. Green plays with an extremely high motor, high effort, high energy style of player. He gets to the second level really well. He does a good job in the running game. Just the way he plays the game of football with that tough mentality, that tough attitude, finishing the play. I mean, it's kind of a similar or a reoccurring trait here, but I really feel like these are the types of traits that Robert Saleh is looking for in his football players. A lot of these traits that, former San Francisco 49ers members had, where they're not afraid to back down. They're not afraid of challenges. They really want to get in and work and be the best player that they can be. Kendrick Green, he's kind of like tape, once he gets his hands on you, like defenders can't really get off him. He's kind of just stuck to the defenders. I feel like he gives the Jets some versatility again at guard and center, much like Meyers. You play him year 1, year 2 at guard, and then he could be that long-term option at center for the team moving forward, especially if McGovern doesn't work out. And last but not least, cornerback from Central Arkansas, Robert Rochelle, 5'11", 195 pounds, definitely a boom or bust style of prospect here. He has tons of physical traits, tons of physical tools to be successful at the next level. One of the best cornerbacks at the FCS level. He has really good tape. He also has some really bad tape as well. I think with Rochelle, it comes down to getting with the right coaching staff. And what better coach is there to coach defensive backs than Robert Saleh? He has made it known that he just works wonders with defensive backs, maximizing talents of these guys. So I think because he is somewhat of a boomer bust guy, and the Jets having 2 first-round picks, a high second-round pick, and two third-round picks, it gives the Jets a little bit of a leash to take a swing, right? To take a hack. It could either be a home run or a complete swing and miss. So I think at the end of the day, Rochelle right now is being talked about round 3. Like, he's probably going to go in round 3, maybe with that second, third round pick if he's on the board. When we're looking at the position right now, it's kind of thin, to say the least. And again, we haven't really done much as far as free agency is concerned. Maybe Rochelle could be in play here. So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who are some third round targets that you think the Jets should target? Guys that would fit the team. And of course, I didn't mention everybody because I'm kind of getting into that habit where I'm like wanting every single draft prospect, and I do this every year around draft time. Like once April starts, I'm like, this guy's really good and he can fit. This guy's really good and he can fit. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.